friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, but as always, more importantly, asking for yours. Today it's a striker special. That's right, Sesko, Benzema, Victor Osimhen. Stories around all these footballers have surfaced today, and we're going to reflect on them. Victor Osimhen has come out and spoken about his future and his transfer, possibly and probably away from Napoli. Ed Aarons of The Guardian Sport has confirmed Chelsea are now looking at Karim Benzema, who himself is looking for a temporary move away from his Saudi club. Ooh. And Benjamin Sesko mentioned in an article from Court Offside that is an exclusive. A reminder, guys, I will be doing a reaction video to Chelsea's semi-final game later this evening in the Carabao Cup against Middlesbrough. It won't be in the studio. It will be a more informal video, like always, after the evening games. So do strap yourselves in. If you want to support the content, you're welcome to by liking and subscribing. I recommend that if you choose to subscribe, you hit the bell notifications icon so you get notified when I upload. Alright then, let's get into it. Starting off with this exclusive from Mark Bruce of Court Offside. RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko could be one to watch for Chelsea as they look for a signing up front in the summer transfer window, according to Ben Jacobs. Speaking exclusively to Court Offside for his daily briefing column, Jacobs mentioned that a new striker remains a key objective for Chelsea for the summer, with names like Victor Osimhen still a priority. More on him later, but with Sesko as one to watch as well. The 20-year-old has impressed in his relatively short career so far, and one imagines there'll be a host of other top clubs interested in him soon. Though the Blues could definitely do with bringing in an elite young attacking player of this caliber. Off the bat, I do have a great deal of concern with this. His numbers are not astronomical, and we have many young strikers that, or forwards should I say, with high potential but not necessarily high productivity output at the moment. For me, personally, I do think we're lacking that senior striker up top that will perhaps bring guaranteed numbers, though I also would concede to the fact how guaranteed numbers hasn't always worked for us before. Quote from Ben Jacobs: Chelsea are still exploring strikers for this window, January, but will only move if they find the right name. The elite profile they are looking for is only expected to be available in the summer, meaning patience may be needed. Napoli's Victor Osimhen remains a top target for the summer. Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko is another to watch and has a €50 million release clause active this summer. Yeah, which is less than 50 million quid, which is pretty wild. I mean, look, if he really is this elite player, Benjamin Sesko, then it could be peanuts. You can generally get a pretty good deal out of RB Leipzig. At the time, of course, we got Timo Werner for 47 million quid. For the goals he scored, that was somewhat of a bargain. Granted, it didn't work out the way we wanted to, and now it looks like Tottenham have the option to buy him for £15 million. So it's funny how things work out and change in really a quite short period of time. It's been a difficult season at Stamford Bridge, with Pochettino likely to feel he's not got enough out of Nicolas Jackson or Armando Broja. Chelsea have put a lot of trust in their young players, and they'll probably want to continue with a similar transfer strategy, so young talent like Sesko could be ideal. Yeah, maybe, but I've certainly regurgitated my concerns over and over and over. Young players with potential, great, it's one thing. If they all work out, or even some work out, it makes you look good in the long run. But in the present moment, where we all live, by the way, namaste, we're struggling to score goals. Look, man, Pochettino, when looking at both Broja and Nico Jackson, a little bit unlucky with Broja because he had a long-term injury, and Nico Jackson's done so okay. I actually still believe Pochettino is a great coach of forwards. I know the best body of work we can have to represent this would be Dele Alli and Harry Kane, and even a young Christian Eriksen and stuff like that, but Harry Kane just absolutely exploded under Pochettino. Maybe it's asking a lot to just turn a young striker into Harry Kane. I'm sure there's not loads and loads of Harry Kanes out there, but still, I do think Pochettino, with time, can get the best out of certain young players. I think Pochettino has many faults as a manager, but he has positives as well, and this is one of them. Anyway, this is a striker special, so let's move on to the next segment of the video. We'll leave Benzema for the end, but let's talk about Victor Osimhen. Fabrizio Romano tweets, breaking, Victor Osimhen says this: I have already made my decision on the next step to do at the end of the season. Whoa, I already made up my mind. I already have a plan. I know what I'm going to do. The next step that I want to take, he tells CBS. He goes on to say, I think 60% of people mention the rumours about me being linked with the Premier League. The Premier League is one of the biggest leagues in the world. I want to finish the season now with Napoli strong, then come up with the decision that I've already made. I don't know how one comes up with a decision that you've already made, but I take the point. Victor Osimhen went over and over and over, really asserting himself here that he knows what he's going to do next. And from what he's saying, it sounds like it's not going to be at Napoli. Of course, he recently extended, but I think that's largely to protect him as an asset for Napoli, but also put in the release clause that buyers will probably activate, especially if he finishes the season strong like he says he wants to. If he goes on to score more goals and looks good and plays well at AFCON, etc., etc., there will be buyers for Victor Osimhen in the summer when the release clause is active. Now, if we go full Sherlock Holmes on this shiz, he says 60% of the people, most people, are talking about the Premier League. The Premier League's great. Now, I wonder if he's saying that to be like, throw people off, like, yeah, everyone's talking about the Premier League, but I'm not going there. Now, I do not think he's going to Saudi. He's already rejected a massive money move to the Saudi League. And of course, his teammate's agent, Kvaratskhelia agent, spoke about him going to Saudi. And he got really, really angry in response, keep my name out your effing mouth sort of thing. So, unless, you know, his agent actually knows he's going to Saudi in the summer, but I don't know, I kind of doubt it. I don't feel like he is. It'll be disappointing if he goes, because obviously we want to see him play in Europe at the highest level. But, you know, maybe he's going to chase the bag. Be very interested to see. Anyway, let me know what you think, because all the reporters, or certainly most journalists and publications, are saying that Victor Osimhen remains Chelsea's sort of top target. He's just about in that age bracket where Chelsea want to sign, and he's recognised as an elite striker, an elite centre forward. I still think he's not the best striker in Italy. That remains Lautaro Martinez. But like I've said here on the channel before, I think Osimhen suits Chelsea, or even suits the Premier League better than Lautaro Martinez. Certainly at Chelsea, I think Lautaro would probably play really well for maybe Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, but probably not so much for like a Chelsea, an Arsenal, a Man City. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool is so radically transitional that, you know, it would suit him well, I think. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comment down below regarding Victor Osimhen. I'll be very interested in learning your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and let's talk about big Karim Benzema. So Cy Phillips tweets, Chelsea are starting to show an interest in Karim Benzema, and this is coming from Ed Aarons of The Guardian. There's a few aggregators and reporters suggesting this now, that not just citing Ed Aarons' links to Chelsea, but that Karim is ready to go. Now, if you don't know the story, Karim Benzema is not happy with his club. He's not been playing, he's not been training. He wants to move away desperately. Now, it was heavily speculated that he would move between Saudi clubs that try and keep him in the league as an asset, but maybe he'll go on loan. Lyon desperately trying to get him. I think he started his career there, so getting him back would be a nice story, but they just simply couldn't afford it. Even if he took radical wage cuts, it's just massively, they just can't do it. Now, I've spoken about this before. I'll reiterate what I've said. Though this would be the antithesis, the opposite of the Chelsea project, it wouldn't be Chelsea signing Benzema. It would be a small loan, a 6-month loan, while they assess what they've got. So you wouldn't be breaking your wage structure on the contract. You'd be just paying a portion of wages. Now, say he's on 600k a week. Chelsea would probably cap themselves at, I don't know, 250, 300k a week, and then Saudi would have to play the rest. Maybe he'd take a very, very small portion reduction as well. Of course, this is me speculating here. I'm theorising here, so, don't come at me. And then maybe in that instance, Chelsea could get Karim Benzema. Now, a bunch of clubs want him. I think, Arsenal would like him, Man United would probably like him, but many, many clubs are in a position where they can't spend much money, because there might even be a loan fee involved as well. You have to remember that. And would Karim Benzema want to come to Chelsea? Well, if he has the option to play in the Champions League with a Champions League club, I have a feeling he'd probably go to that. Of course, not only can Chelsea not offer Champions League, we can't even offer Europa or Conference League. So it would very much have to be like, I don't know, just fancies the experience. He knows Chelsea are a big club. We beat his Real Madrid in the Champions League, a couple of years ago, so he'll know. Recently, big European club. Maybe he'll say, you know what, I fancy putting on the Chelsea shirt for 6 months and just seeing how I get on. I can speak Spanish to Mauricio Pochettino and French to the French guys and Thiago Silva and stuff, and maybe he'll feel like he'll have no issue integrating and could spend 6 months in swanky southwest London. Maybe he'll fancy it. And then there'll be the questions from the more fan side. Would it be a good idea? Chelsea are looking at him, quite rightly, as they should. They should be considering all options, right? I think so. But would he, Saudi level of football comparatively to the Premier League is very different, ladies and gentlemen. And if he hasn't been playing, I do worry. Two things that would make me feel more positive is that he's in fine shape. He still is in excellent condition physically. He hasn't let himself go. And ultimately, he's not going to forget how to be this incredibly ruthless and efficient centre forward in the 18-yard box. You just don't lose that. And I have a feeling if we put balls into the box, he'll score goals. And just the aura of Karim Benzema. I generally like it. The more I think about it, I like it. Because it's not like Joao Felix, who came to Chelsea. It didn't do that bad. I mean, to be honest, we look at Joao Felix's 6 months loan from January and Higuain's, and often both looked as failures. For different reasons, Felix is so talented, but he was coming off like this, big war with Atletico Madrid, and they were playing better without him, and he's never really popped off goals-wise since he signed for Atletico for that big money, but he's demonstrated ability. And he kind of did it at Chelsea. He wasn't like a flop at Chelsea. He had moments, and Lampard didn't start him because he just didn't see the athleticism from him. But he scored like 4 or 5 Prem goals in like not that many starts in the league. And that before he got that red card on his debut, he looked amazing. And Higuain similarly was totally out of shape. But I've said it here recently on the channel, like his few finishes for Chelsea's goals, go back and watch them. Wicked finishes. And that's kind of what I'd see with Karim Benzema. Obviously a striker, so closer to Higuain, but much better shape than Higuain. Now, I wouldn't expect Benzema to be running around and doing pressing triggers and all this kind of stuff. In fact, should we get Karim Benzema, I think Pochettino would be given a task in thinking how to accommodate him. A little bit like in the same way we do with Thiago Silva. You look at, he's really good at certain things, but he's 39 and he won't be able to do fast backtracking and all this kind of stuff. We've got to play around him. Maybe if you've got one at each end, you start to accommodate too much. That's a discussion for another day. It's like pulling the blanket too far off your feet or down off your head. Anyway, you see what I'm saying. But Chelsea are looking at Benzema, and I wanted to react to it here on the channel. So let me know what you think. Comment down below. Of course, keep it locked for the match reaction later. And if you do enjoy my content, please do consider subscribing and hitting the bell. Alright, cheers guys. Peace.